So what can you buy in what areas of Rapid City for how much? Hey everybody, it's Tristan Eamon with Mindful Living Realtor right here, Rapid City, South Dakota, the gateway to the Black Hills. Let's get on the computer. I want to show you Rapid City. I want to show you kind of the areas. And let's dive into some of the home prices around the different areas to give you a feel of prices in Rapid City in October of 2022.
All right, so here we are looking at a map of Rapid City, and you can see here we've got Rapid City here, we've got Ellsworth Air Force Base and Box Elder over here, here's the airport right here. So you can see right smack dab, kind of through the middle of Rapid City. Ooh, that's a huge line. Let's get rid of that one and get our different line color here. There we go. This right here is basically splitting Rapid City from West Rapid City to East Rapid City. Now the only way you're going to be able to get from west to east is through these streets right here in the middle, and that's called the Gap. And so you can see here, if I erase those, as you can see here, here's the Gap right here, and you've got Omaha going back and forth, and you've got Maine kind of coming back in and forth through this little mountain area right in here. That's called the Gap. And usually if people are living on the west side to get downtown, that's the way you go, unless you go through I-90 across, or down here on the south side you can go through this bypass down through here. So as you can imagine, that gets a little bit cramped, especially when, a couple years ago when they were working on both those roads and there was only one lane open the entire summer. That was a pain in the ass. Downtown Rapid City, that's of course where Rapid City started back in the day, and everything from there then of course it grows out. So the farther out you go, the newer you get as new building opportunities presented themselves. Except for this area right here, which is the West Boulevard Historic District. And this is where the historical homes were built, turn of the century. The people that really kind of started the property, I just sold a couple years ago the Sweeney house, and the Sweeney was the owner of the hardware store in the original downtown Rapid City. So historic area here, really kind of cool houses down this way. Now as we scroll out here, every road leads to the Black Hills. So you can see there's a road here, Highway 38, Highway 35, goes from Deadwood all the way down here to Hot Springs. So every road here in Rapid City goes out that way. Obviously here we've got Interstate 90 going to the north, Blackhawk, Piedmont, Somerset, Sturgis, Spearfish, all the way into Wyoming. And then right about here you've got Nemo Road going to, Nemo and Highway 385. Here is Highway 44, Jackson Boulevard going all the way to Highway 385. Down here you've got Sheridan Lake Road going all the way down here to Highway 385. And of course then here's Highway 16, Mount Rushmore Road, Keystone, Hill City, down to Custer, and down to Hot Springs. And then Highway 79 here goes straight south, east side of the hills, goes all the way down into Nebraska with a couple of interchanges straight into the Black Hills from there. So you can see no matter where you are in Rapid City, you're never really too far away from the Black Hills. You can be almost anywhere in about an hour. Another thing that I like to point out is that you have here Canyon Lake Park, which is our premier lake in Rapid City. In 1972, we had a lot of water, and that came crashing down kind of over here, over in the hills. And as it came through, all the debris, there's a spillway right here. The debris got caught in that spillway and caused a flood all the way through downtown. That was back in 1972. So now you can see a lot of green spaces in that floodway. So we've got a whole lot of stinking parks, no matter where you are in the middle of Rapid City, which is amazing for nature. We've got a bike path going from one side of Rapid City to the other, a lot of different parks along the way, and golf courses that made that floodway into cool green spaces. Some places have even called Rapid City the city of parks. You're never too far from a park, no matter where you are in Rapid City. And that also includes hiking. Right here, there's a road, actually, Skyline Drive is right here. We can see both sides of the city. This is called Wilderness Park, a bunch of little trails right here. There's actually an amphitheater right here, which is really cool because what they did in the 30s is they thought, let's have a cool outdoor stadium. So you can look up on the hillside and see where they cut out for seats. And of course, that never really manifested, but that would have been a really cool event to have a big concert there in that area, in the amphitheater. And then up here is the Hanson and Larson Memorial Park, where there's a whole bunch of trails, bike paths, walking paths in this area. You can be hiking or biking in Rapid City city limits and be completely surrounded by trees, not even leaving the city. All right, now let's kind of jump in a little bit to the areas, and let's talk about what you can expect for home prices in said area. Now, these areas that I'm talking about will be our MLS defined areas. So you will probably see them if you do some searching and there's an area selection, you'll probably have a chance to check those out. I also have another video that I did more specifically about these areas, and you can check that video up here somewhere. So first area up over here is this area right in here, and this is called Piedmont Valley. So everything along I-90 kind of in that area right there. Obviously Box Elder is going to be up here, and this area up here called Elk Creek, because the Elk Creek Road is running right here. On the south end of town, you've got this area here called Black Gap, which covers this subdivision right here, and then further south Hermosa. And as we get down in here, this area here kind of is called Pine Grove. Now where do you see this Colonial Pine Hills, which I know a lot of you have said, I really like this area. The only people that uses Colonial Pine Hills is Google. It actually is along Sheridan Lake Road, and the nomenclature we use is Sheridan Lake Road. So that is the area here along Sheridan Lake Road, right kind of through here. And another name for Jacksonville or Highway 44 is called Rimrock Highway. So Rimrock is kind of this little area right in here. And then this area around Nemo Road is what? Guess what? Nemo Road. So those are the different areas kind of on the outskirts of Rapid City. Now as we scroll into Rapid City, you can see more, it's a little more directional. So we've got northwest here, surprise, surprise, southwest over here. And then we have north up over this way, and there's northeast here. Anything to this side of this here, oh, and this is Rapid Valley. This is Rapid Valley right in this area. And then we've got the southeast down over here. And then City Center. And then, of course, West Boulevard, like I mentioned before, is that historic district, so that gets its own little area kind of right in there. So there we have a real quick overview of Rapid City limits areas according to our Black Hills MLS. Now let's check out what you can expect for home prices in the different areas, just as a real overview of what is active currently now. It's October in 2022, so this kind of gives you an idea right now where prices are at. Of course, things always change. So let's start in the areas around Rapid City proper. So I'm going to start at my website, rapidhomesonline.com, and do an area search for the areas that I kind of pointed out there before. We're not going to do anything crazy here. We're just going to get some basic ideas running around. And there we go. So this is northwest area. So here we are, so sorted from highest to lowest. And you can see we're at 450, 400s, getting down to the 300s here for this property. But look at that, 300,000, you're only at 1,500 square feet. 2,400 for this one here. Pretty typical, really typical West Side home right here. On West Chicago, that's kind of a busy street, so sometimes that ends up being why there's a lower price than for South Carolina, same scenario. That's a busy street as well. But look at here, we've got some price reductions here on Cedar, price reductions on Windsor. $250. Oh, there's even some $230, so $229. So look at this, $229 though is 1,100 square feet. Oh, and that's $99. Oh, look at that, $893. Probably oh yeah, look at that. You can fix that baby up if you wanted to. Better have some cash on the market on that one probably. So you can see Northwest Rapid City. I'm actually surprised to see some in the 230s. Usually about 250 is where it started for a piece of junk. And so now we're starting to see things, you can maybe get something for more affordable in Western Rapid City, but usually it's above the 300 mark, especially for anything it's a little bit bigger or a little bit nicer of an area. Now let's check out Southwest Rapid City, and this is where you'll have a lot more of your newer, more expensive homes, as of course things built out that way. So look at this, 1.6 million for a big old 10,000 square foot on top of the hill. A great views from this area though, really, it'll be kind of cool. But we're going down here, you can see a lot of really nice, big, huge properties in the Southwest Rapid City. So if you're expecting to live in Southwest Rapid City, better bring some money with you, because chances are you're not going to find too many under that $300,000 mark. But I'm going to probably prove myself wrong here as we scroll down. So here's one on Cruise Drive for $350. Still 2,900 square feet, certainly plenty of space. An older home in the 50s probably, but it looks like they've kind of updated that as well. 325, and this is a condo here on Sheridan Lake Road. So you can see if you're going to want to live in Southwest, especially the nicer area of Southwest, you're definitely going to be wanting to bring your 350 plus, probably closer to 400 plus to that area. Okay, let's go up here now to North Side. Now let's check out the prices here. So you can see now this one here is kind of an interesting home. It's a really kind of cool big home, but it's in a neighborhood where it's like the biggest home of the neighborhood. Really cool, but I'm not sure you're going to spend $600,000 in that type of neighborhood. Scroll down here, you can see other ones, nicer ones in the area. 250s, 240s. There's some 220s. You get some smaller properties. and then some 500. This is 500 square foot, 700 square foot for 150. Usually these 150, you usually need some work done to them. And you can see some work done there. Only one picture. Nice. Okay. This one's down. You can kind of see that one's nice and crooked there. Yeah. So you see there's plenty of work usually that needs to be done in that 100 sub 200, sometimes 150 price point range. All right. Head over here to West Boulevard. Three homes, pretty typical for the area. Big, huge homes here on Pendar. This is there are some smaller homes here, especially along 11th and 12th Street. This one is 3,000 square feet, but I did sell one earlier last year, closer to 1,700 square feet, probably for closer around that $350,000 range. All right, southeast, here we come. Now, southeast is going to be a little bit interesting just because you've got some smaller homes around here and then some nicer homes here up on the hill as we get around the hospital. That's right here. So like Enchanted Place here, you have 1.25 million. You got the Alta Vista, which has got the city views, very nice properties up on that hillside, as you can see here. So you've got a little bit of everything down this road. I really love Centennial Street. That's kind of a really beautiful neighborhood down in there. Look, down $124,000. Go figure that one out. I mean, that might have been, what if that was a that was a error or something. Rangeview Road. Here's $300,000 home on Elms Avenue, which is kind of a busy street. It's got a looks like a big garage. It's probably the premier, but no one behind you looks like. And they've done a decent job inside. Yeah, they've kind of done some fixing up. Cabinets look about normal. Probably just painted there. But yeah, they've done a nice job fixing that one up. That's what you get for $300,000. Only 1,000 square feet though. So anything over 2,000 square feet is still going to get above the $250,000, $300,000 point, even on the southeast side of town. Here's Rapid Valley. Rapid Valley's got a lot of new construction going on, and this actually here is actually considered Rapid Valley. I know I lied. Go down all this way, up this way. There's a lot of new construction going on up here, going up here this way, so a lot of that will be in this as well. This one here I think is also a multifamily. I think it's a fourplex. This is a newer properties down by the Elks Golf Course down here. But look at that, $579,900 for about 2,000 square feet. Jessup Lane is a newer subdivision as well. But still, we're in the 400, 450s. A lot of new kind of, just a modern looking home here. Copperfield Vista is a new construction. So yeah, a newer construction home that sellers are selling. Looks like they did a pretty nice job inside, making it quite modern looking. New construction here on Chet for $425,000. Plenty of options, it looks like, in the new construction world that are popping up. But even in this area, $310,000. We're finally getting below $300,000 here. Here's an older one on Sweet Briar for close to the $250,000 mark. That's the sheds, I guess. Wonder if the storage unit comes with it. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what you can expect. Look at that wallpaper. Actually, this looks like kind of a modular unit right here, actually, with the way it's built. But yeah, that's kind of what you can expect in the area for anything under the $250,000 mark. Okay, now as you start to kind of get outside of the area, we can check out Box Elder here. Box Elder's got some new developments as well. You can see here those new constructions are getting quite a bit more expensive as the costs continue to stay a little high on the new construction end of things. But 2,600, 2,200 square foot properties for the $370,000, $400,000 price point. A lot of new stuff going on in Box Elder. Here's an existing one for $335,000. But even getting close to $220,000, here's one on for $221,000. And you can see what you kind of expect for the almost our $212,000. You can kind of expect for the $212,000 price point. Or get yourself a mobile home for $50,000. Cash, only cash. All right, as you kind of get now out into the hills through this Pine Grove area, it's just kind of along Highway 16 here. And actually, I think that's more southeast here. This one here is off in the Pine Grove area. So this house is a mock-up of a new construction to be built for $1 million out by the Hart Ranch golf course. Okay, let's check out the other areas now. Here's our Sheridan Lake Road area right through here. Scroll in here, make sure I'm getting this right. Catron coming out. You've got these here, right here, part of the Sheridan Lake Road area. And there's more than just this here that I'm highlighting, but to give us an idea. Yeah, Prestwick Road, that's the Red Rocks Estate right next to the Red Rocks Golf Course. These, of course, have the higher end price points going up here. Bigger homes in this subdivision right here. This Conifer Lane is in Countryside South. I really like this subdivision. Kind of built in the 90s. A little bit more space in some of this acreage. And you'll see some kind of 90s look, a lot of oak cabinets, that kind of thing in this subdivision. Same thing with Seminole Lane. This one on Nonana, that's an older home, older subdivision. You get probably closer to an acre out in this, very rustic looking. You kind of get a feel of the Black Hills. And of course this one is very woody, wood log cabin look. But 530 is the lower end on this area, and that's probably about right. I mean, you might be able to get into something to 450s, but I wouldn't expect to spend much less than 400 in the South Sheridan Lake Road area. Alright, now along Highway 44, not sure, there might not be too many for us to look at. Pick up these three over here to kind of give you a feel for being in the hills. Just about 20 minutes from Rapid City, went on Highway 44, $1 million, 8.25. This one here along is 365, so a smaller property. Yeah, a smaller property, but at least you're in the hills. You got someone kind of right next to you though, right there. What is this one? 3-bed, 2-bath, on 0.14, so you really don't even have a lot of space, but you do have a charming cottage. Kind of pretty much similar if we go up here to the Nemo Road area. Right here. Let's see what lets me grab these. There we go. You can see here, right off Kings Road, this is a cool subdivision here, kind of up on top of the hill. You have, what, probably about an acre. In this is also a subdivision with a pool and stuff like that. So you drive down Nemo Road and you go up a hill, and there's a whole bunch of these homes up in this subdivision here, Country Canyon Estates. I really kind of like this area. A lot of cool homes here, kind of 90s homes as well. So that's kind of where these are in this area. But you can expect to spend, well, look at that, even $796 for these kind of properties. So don't plan to bring your money if you want to be out in the hills a little bit. Now we'll get into Piedmont Valley. Now that's going to encompass not only areas in Piedmont Valley, but also Somerset and Blackhawk. But you can see there's a nice road. This is a nice home kind of up on top of the hill for $1.8 million. That's just a little bit of space there, no big deal. And then you can kind of come back into Somerset with some bigger homes and some normal homes here. That's kind of what you can expect in the Somerset area for about 400 to 500. And through the newer subdivision. Somerset started building about the 2000s and up till present day. Piedmont gets a little bit cheaper as you get into smaller homes that are a little older. And then same thing with the Blackhawk, as you get into there, you get some cheaper homes under the $400,000 mark. And then remember I talked about Elk Creek Road. Here's that Elk Creek Road right here. I think there's a few up that way, so everything kind of down this way. That's probably part of it too. Is considered Elk Creek Road. It's really kind of a nice area through there. It's kind of a valley-like. You've got some horse properties, you got some fields, you also got views of the hills everywhere. So you get a real good feel for everything in that subdivision. But you know, we're looking at some properties that have some space and some acreage. And this one's got what, 1.52. This is a newer subdivision right here that they're building. So you can get into a property here, big property for $875. But even this area here, we're getting expensive homes in some of this newer stuff, and I think that most of this is. Oh, look, you can have a condo, and there's a condo on. Oh yeah, these condos here on in this Green Valley Estates here, Golden Valley. That's kind of a cool area right there as well. But even that's a $385 for a 1,800 square foot condo.
All right, everybody, there you go. Hope you enjoyed my scribbling all over the screen. If you want to check out in more detail the areas, check out this video that I put together here that I mentioned earlier. That's one's right here. And then check out this playlist of some of the coolest neighborhoods in the Rapid City area. Thanks again for watching. Have an amazing day, and remember, love where you live.